did it right in Hollywood one day. Jingle bells, jingle all the day. Oh, what fun it is to
I
ride
promise singing and dancing.
Hey.
Hi,
And that's the show, folks. That's the end of it.
Thanks for stopping by.
All right, let me shut him off because he'll keep going. Hello, everyone. I promised singing and dancing. There was your singing and dancing. Did you really think I was going to sing and dance? Because that's not happening. Maybe you could convince Joe and Pat to sing and dance, but
not going to happen. It's early here.
Oh, yeah. So, jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg.
There we go.
Batmobile lost the wheel and Joker got away. Hey!
Nice.
Well, there you go. There's your singing and dancing.
Yeah.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to our Christmas Extravaganza Addicts Live. It's been a few days. It's been a wild few days in the world of TSTO, but I think we're all still standing. And as I said, the pagans have nothing on us, I guess, right? So we'll live to fight another day, and we're here, and we're all still standing and smiling, and we're proceeding.
Yes, we will. We shall overcome, or something. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah,
I am wearing oven mitts today as a special tribute to the hot topics that we will undoubtedly cover. So, just so you know.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So let's get into it with a little what's new from everyone. This time we'll start with, let me say, we're joined this week. Let me do this. I totally forgot. Homer distracted me. We are joined this week by the one, the only, the Wookster.
Hey, it's me again.
Yay! And as always, we are joined by Mr. Cranky Old Guy, Patrick, the rebel rouser of the group.
Hey, it's one of those things where the cranky ebbs and flows. Let's just leave it at that. It ebbs and flows.
And I should also say that we invited Bunny to join us. She had some other things going on today, so she was not able to join us. Part of that could be that I told her the wrong day, even though I gave her the right date. But she had a couple other things going on, so she's not participating. As I freeze on the screen, which is phenomenal.
You're not freezed here.
Yeah, you're good on my end.
On my end, I was frozen. So anyway, let's
just let it
let's
go.
all get into it.
Are you actually allowed to say the word frozen this time of year without paying a copyright and breaking into whatever that song is? Let it go. Let it go. I'm sorry.
Let it flow, as my husband says.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
All right, so let's get into it with some what's new. We'll start with Joe and his craziness.
What's new? It's finals week, so I should hopefully be back here in the future because I won't have a good excuse. And podcast still going strong. Kids are good. Went to Springfield yesterday at Universal.
Did you buy me a present?
They don't have really that good of merchandising. I'm sure your present will come from somewhere else. But I did find golf balls that made me think of Pat. I was showing him a picture before we went live. I almost bought them, but then I found the oldest guy in the store and was like, are these like real golf balls? Like, will he actually be able to golf with them? And he goes, oh, I would not golf with those. Those are bad. And I was like, I didn't, since we're fostering the whole friendship thing, I didn't want to like give him these goofy balls or like his first like go with them. It's just like shanks off into the woods and then like the site's over. You don't mess with the man's golf. I golf too. And you don't mess around with the guy's golf balls. You don't mess with.
Well, I do. I'm glad you said golf before. Never mind. Anyway, I do have a rack of novelty golf balls in my display case, so I may have to go for the. I like the Duff idea though. The Duff golf ball, that's good because they call us old duffers or something on the course.
Oh, okay.
All right. It could work out. I don't know.
I'm like, I could try to show the picture to the viewers, but it didn't turn out very good. Let's see.
Let's see what you got.
Sorry, you have to be smarter than your phone. Okay, so you see it?
Yeah, that came out better. Yeah, those came out. Yeah, it's good. Let's just do the rest of the show showing that, and we'll confuse people with that. Let's leave those up the rest of the show.
Yeah, they're like, they're showing us balls. Like, what are they trying to say?
It's our own version of alternative Christmas.
Yeah. Well, my post last night had Homer mooning everyone, so you know it's only appropriate.
I was kind of surprised. You had, as they say, partial nudity, and then you used the term WTF right in the headline. It's like, wow.
I wanted people to laugh and get over themselves.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there you go.
That worked.
There's
nothing says get over yourself like Homer's butt. So
there's a theme.
There you go. So
Simpsons Richard Nixon butt.
Well, I don't have an image for that. I use the game image. So, Patrick, what is new with you this week?
Well, we're rapidly approaching. In fact, today, after I get off of here, launches the official insane ramp up toward the Miller family deal next weekend, which means I will be doing a ton of caramel corn today. I'll be writing the Christmas letter. I'll be putting up the tree. It's all of that stuff all in one day. I like to take my Christmases in one huge, giant swoop. And so the house will smell like caramel corn for 2 weeks straight now. There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
What's that?
That works. And I was gonna say, hopefully you'll share your cranky graphic with everyone this year. Your label.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm actually struggling this year to come up with a theme that. I mean, the ducks are awful. We don't want to talk about that. I really kind of don't want to talk about election. We certainly aren't going to talk about Christmas versus pagan. So it's like, I'm kind of running out of ideas, but I will share it.
What about you'll love it?
Yeah, you'll love it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
So what's new in this household is it's about 2 weeks till Christmas, so we're gearing up here. Our tree's been up for since the day after Thanksgiving because let's face it, I love Christmas, so I like to stretch it out as long as possible. But everything else is good. We took Riley to see Santa in New York City, so she saw the Macy's Santa, who terrified her slightly, and then she realized that Santa had jingle bells, so she was happy and liked to ring the bells on his suit, and we were good. So we're just gearing up and buying presents and getting ready for the craziness around here and trying to keep my sanity on the blog. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I saw the picture of Riley, and I didn't think she looked so terrified as much as she had that look on her face of kind of like, really? What is it? What's going on here? Who is this guy? She was much more incredulous.
It was her WTF mom face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? So that's what's new with us. And a couple of things I see in the comments. Lee wants to know if our hats are real. Lee, these are real. Well, my hat's real. Pat's is real. And Big Phil wants to know where Wookie's hat is. Well, I have to ask Wookie that question. Wookie's got his King's hat. That's his Santa.
I have a camouflage like from the desert Santa hat, but I don't know. I was afraid you wouldn't be able to see my head.
You blend in. Camouflage book. So and Safi says that he assumes the delay was due to Riley's diaper or technical error, or the third guess is Patrick's diaper.
You ageist! He's an ageist again. I'm not putting up with that.
he did add LOL. Just kidding, Pat.
Yeah.
It was not due to Riley's diaper. It was not due to Patrick's diaper. It was due to technical errors and trying to get home or to work and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, and then I lost the broadcast button. So that's why we're late, and I apologize that we were a little late today. But yeah, so let's get into it. Instead of a quiz this week, I put a poll in the comments or in the right below us here. To rate your favorite Christmas Simpsons episode. There are 13 of them. Yeah, there are 13 Christmas episodes, not including this week's. So this week's will be number 14. But I thought it would be fun if we all later in the show examine our favorite Christmas episode from the show and why. So I thought I'd get a nice consensus as to what your favorite episode is. So be sure to vote in the poll. Please only vote once, because we know what happens when you skew results. Patrick makes multiple posts about various things telling you to just write agree. So
agree. Just agree.
just write I agree. Although I will add, it's been very nice just moderating comments of people saying I agree, instead of writing people say, this is ridiculous, or this is awesome. But just,
Yeah.
I agree works quite nicely for my sanity. So thank you.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was a very selfish way to make moderation of the same topic pretty easy for both of us. So there you go.
Yes,
Let's be done with that concept.
We have fielded thousands of comments in the last 4 days. So this made life very easy for us.
Yes.
And my sanity. And for the record, I'll get to that in a minute, but what were you going to say, Joe?
I agree.
All right. So don't forget to vote in the poll below. And be sure to comment that you agree. Yeah. But let's just get right into it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and let's just break down this event. The hostility and everything aside, let's break it down. Let's get into stuff. So first, I'd like to set the record straight that no one made me cry. Post said, you made mom cry. You really didn't make me cry. My skin is a little thicker than that. He was being metaphorical. I
didn't even say whose mom. I didn't even say whose mom. So there you go.
Yes.
It was for theater.
Yes. So I was not crying. My skin is a little thicker than that. I was, for lack of a better word, PO'd immensely. And frustrated beyond belief of the people taking their frustration and anger out on me. So the thought did cross my mind to just shut the site down for the rest of December, just to say, okay, whatever. But Joe can tell you, Joe's been doing this for me for a long time. He'll tell you that I usually have those thoughts. So
yeah,
it's nothing new. I take a moment to vent, and then I feel better.
And spoiler alert, guys, Alyssa's not Pat's mom.
Not even close. Not even in the weirdest, strangest alternative universe. No, not even close.
Alyssa's the baby of all of us.
Yes.
Actually, it was my mom that was crying. It was my mom that was crying. Why are you being so mean to my son? That's what that was all about.
So let's just get into it. Let's go with initial thoughts, and guys, feel free to comment respectfully in the comments. And yeah, we'll read some of them as we're going through this, but let me know your thoughts. So what was your initial thought when you saw the splash screen, the App Store description, exactly what was going on? What were your thoughts? We'll start with Joe.
Maybe not popular, I guess, but I like it. I actually know that the Nightmare Before Christmas episode it was going to include a element of paganism in Springfield. And sorry, guys, there's episode tie-ins, but I was not prepared. When I know that the comments are getting a little dicey, and I'm doing finals, then they're getting dicey. That means that Alyssa and Pat can't moderate fast enough that I can't find a crazy comment from someone to be like, oh, Nelly, we're back to the days of tips and gun control.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually, I think it was worse. So
Yeah, it was worse.
There's plenty of Christmas stuff in there. They're trying something new. If you really look, it matches your Clash of Clones and Stonecutter stuff beautifully if you want to design your town. And I wanted Jewish TSTOs, so of course that's not what I got. But you know, there's a lot of people that celebrate other things besides Christianity. And but like Pat said, I've still got the nativity rocking inside my town, and all my Christmas lights are up, and I've got Burns wearing a dress and King Winter eating children. And guess what? In January, I'm still gonna be playing the game, and they're gonna be on to the next thing that's gonna piss some people off. But it's a freemium game, and life goes on.
well said. Well said.
Yeah, if you remember, the minute the dialogue came out, I texted you and you texted me, and we both said, "Oh no!" I mean, we both had a sense of dread because they went so far so quickly. It was like, "Uh-oh, this is not going to be good." I still was completely overwhelmed with the vitriolic divisiveness. I got to be honest with you. I am continued to be shocked by how divisive it is. And I think I need to back up just a little bit and explain the two posts. As I tried to explain in a couple of comments, I do not espouse to either of the sides. I wrote basically an amalgam of what we were seeing in comments. So we had one side that was very clearly saying what I said in the first post. I had other people saying what was clearly being said in the second post. And it was a way for me to say, okay, look, just say, I agree. Let's get it out of our systems, and then let's move on. Because what's interestingly enough, anybody that knows me, I don't fall very closely on any of this stuff. I'm with Joe. It's kind of like, you're kidding me. Do you watch the show? How long have they been making fun of all of this stuff? I do think that it's kind of odd that if you do the math on this update, there are only about maybe 15 to 20 new items, all non-Christmas holiday, Santa, anything to do with that. It's all pretty much the pagan stuff, which is cool. It's fun. I get it. And then there are something like 92 premium returning offerings. That's kind of a little heavy on the other side. So that's really what I'm more upset about. It's kind of like I'm looking at it and going, you know, this stuff is good, but it's not something I'm really thrilled about to have, to work, to grind for. But I get why they might keep going back, because all these people that don't have some of the stuff we have, I get it. But the rest of this stuff, the politicizing, the taking sides, and I'm sorry, but when you start going to such a degree that you can't do part of the update because of your religious beliefs, that's cool. Just don't do it. Just move on. That's cool. I get that. But the rest of it, you know, we don't want to become the forum. We do not want, and I'm sorry, somebody was trying to defend the forum in one of the comments. Go look at the forum.
The forum's bad.
Yeah,
the forum is vitriolic trolls.
Yeah.
There are some really nice people, and some of the members of our community are, sorry, I totally cut you off, but some of the members of our community actively participate in the forum, but they are the same people that will tell you, I am avoiding the forum because they are horrible. I mean, they went off the rails there. And
well, they had to move everything off site. They had to move it off completely out of the topic. It was so bad, they had to put it in the also category or something like that. So again, I feel clearly that this is kind of the culmination of 18 months of people feeling divided and blah, 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 and people feeling that they don't have to be polite or whatever. There's a lot of positions that are really weird that all came to head in this situation where we're deciding whether or not a freemium game represents our entire culture, which, please, Lord, let it not be the case.
Well,
You know, it's like, please, no.
I look at it like EA listened to a couple of things and then went off the rails on a couple of things and didn't listen. So they listened when it came to thinking outside the box, because this is totally unexpected. I think I wrote in one of my posts that, you know, most of us, actually I think all of us, were expecting, you know, reindeer, elves, lights, some carnation of that, you know, even menorahs, things like that. And we got a very woodsy theme. And for some of us, it kicked us in our holiday spirit gut, and I get it. I understand. But they did think outside the box, and they should get credit for that, because it's not the same regurgitated theme over and over again. So I do give them credit for that. I also give them credit for listening when people said, I don't want to have an event that goes on 4 weeks past the actual day. So Christmas is the 25th. This event ends the 29th, and we can all move on from the event. So they did listen in that regard, and which is great, because it's a nice 3.5 week event, where everyone can get, you know, they're saying what they want, what they don't want, and it's 2 acts instead of 3. So they do get credit for thinking outside the box. However, they also regurgitated and recycled a lot of stuff. The handing stuff in is overplayed, overdone, and I'm tired of it. The retrends of various items, I get why they're bringing back the premium stuff, and I'm never going to be in the camp of don't bring back this premium stuff, because I understand people who just started playing, you know, they want to get it. They want to have their chance to get it, and I respect that and appreciate it. But some of the decorations are like, okay, well, they've done some of the free stuff you get, and even some of the crafting stuff you get. It's like, all right, you've done this. You just basically taken what you've already done and redesigned it to look like something else, and be a little more creative, be a little more outside the box. But there is some really neat stuff. You know, I'm indifferent about the event. I honestly don't care one way or the other. I get both sides, as I've said. You know, I think both sides, both groups of people have a shared responsibility in the outcry that's happened. You know, we've had one group yelling one way, one group yelling another way, and when you're just shouting at each other, it's like politics on Facebook. So
yeah. Well, the problem is, quite frankly, there's only so many things you can say from either side, and when you have 1,000 comments all saying the exact same thing over and over and over again, that's why you put up an I agree. That made sense to me. I think here's a pragmatic old grandpa way of looking at this. If you hate the update, the good news is it's short. You won't get everything because it doesn't matter. You don't want the pagan stuff in your town anyway. If you're really freaked out by that, that's fine. Let it go. Enjoy the holiday. Have fun. It's over on the 29th. If you like the stuff, go for it. Have it. Tap your brains out. You know, have some fun. I like some of the stuff. Don't get me wrong. Some of it will make the final cut, but for the rest of it, it's like, let it go. You know, it's a very short event, and this is definitely a misstep. I do want to find out at some point. This drives me crazy. We always blame EA. I have a sense that the Gracie writers have something to do with the direction of where this stuff goes. EA programs it, creates it, and animates to a degree, but somewhere in the mix there is a Simpsons graining / you know, whatever involved in the decision making here somewhere. So
the same actually the scripts for TSTO, there was an article I read once. They do, like, some of the writers work on both. They work on TSTO and there. And the fact, like, think of this, guys, as a 2.5 week episode tie-in. It's just an episode tie-in that's going way too long. And then after Christmas, we're gonna get the next part, which if what I've heard, it might be a spoiler later. It should be a lot more fun.
Later.
It's sort of about a divisive concept, but
we'll talk about it later. I promise.
Here's what I'll say: if Wookie doesn't earn the Parsons, we riot, because I'm excited by that. Like, Yeah, and he's like,
I just want another golfer. I want another golfer in the game.
Yeah, I want the Parsons. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I want him to be voiced. I just want to hear the blah, blah, blahs, and it can be voiced. Which is good. So yeah, and I want him riding around on his little golf cart through the town, and like the rest of that can just sit in. Well, it won't sit in my storage because I put everything out because I like proving that I have enough land for everything, and my town does prove it.
Yeah.
However, Stonehenge is going to become part of the Clash of Castles stuff, or maybe part of my Halloween stuff. It does fit in there. And this isn't the first time we've had a satanic ritual altar. If you remember Burns's premium thing, and he's got the Necronomicon, and I keep waiting for Ash to appear and like.
Wait, can I remind people of Burns's Eyes Wide Shut stuff? Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, you went over the top and whatever. That was like more shocking to me.
Or Luann totally pixelates. And I'm not gonna lie. I have Kirk chase his nut around town more often than I probably should.
I do think that the biggest complaint that people have is not the content; it's the time of the year for the content.
I would agree with that.
In their mind, Christmas is happy and holy and all kinds of stuff, and or Christmas is a jolly guy in a red suit, or Santa Homer. So it's not that they're upset with the content; they're upset with the time of the year for the content, and I get it. I can respect that. I can understand that.
Yeah. But to your point, though. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
It's a Christmas episode tie-in that's going too long and was misdirected.
Which is what I've said over and over again.
Yeah.
And to the results, and this is interesting, is that people started freaking out that I wasn't being fair enough and putting up a real poll and keeping a scientific statistic on how many people voted. That becomes that competitive, I'm right, you're wrong thing, and I'm not down with that. What I will say is this: I am not remotely surprised that after I put up the second one that allowed you to go the other way, that now it's catching up, and it's big surprise, almost even. I mean, it's getting very close. It's almost even. And gee, what a surprise. That's kind of how our country is right now. Almost even. So there's no surprise here, but hopefully everybody got a chance to at least agree. Maybe they hit it really hard and broke their computer. I don't know. But whatever the point is, it's out of your system. Please let it be out of your system. We are done moderating these long-winded, crazy back and forths. We just can't do it anymore. So
no one benefits from a rant. So I mean, there's good, there's bad, and there's fugly with this event. So we just gotta put our heads down and praise when there's something good, and complain when there's something bad. When they retrend stuff, we got to say, look, you got to come up with something new. I was hoping that there would be new lights for houses. I don't care about the theme. I just wanted more lights for my dang houses.
We've all lived through worse things in the game. That's the point. We've all lived through worse things that lasted longer in the game. Take a big deep breath, go have a candy cane or whatever it is you want to do, and relax, and it's over soon. That's where I am. So
I mean, and the one thing I think we all can agree with is Springfield looks awesome in snow.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's everybody was, that was the one thing everybody was so excited about before the event. Snow. I want it to snow. I don't care what everybody said, I don't care what it is. I just want to see snow. I don't care what they bring. I just want to see snow. I don't care if they do a Christmas event. I just want snow.
Right.
A lot of people forgot that.
I'm kind of bummed if they actually get rid of the snow on the 29th and it doesn't come back. I'll be kind of bummed. I love the town in snow. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that later, I promise. But
okay.
But I know a lot of people that said, look, this event, if it ends the 29th, does that mean that there's not going to be snow in Springfield in January? I mean, that seems weird. We're used to the Christmas events ending mid-January, so we get. So I think 2012 into 2013, we had snow go into like February, didn't we? Like it went almost a lot of snow.
Yeah, almost to February, because I remember it almost ended when I think it ended with the Super Bowl mini event. And so that was clear into the end of January, 1st of February. It was still snowing. So
yeah, so I
anyway.
mean, we had snow for a while, a few times. So I know a lot of you are hoping it sticks around, and you know, I as well hope that it sticks around. But you know, I mean, there's another concept that some people think, and we've seen this in a couple comments, where some people are wondering if they ran out of Christmas content, they ran out of Christmas ideas. Well, you know, we put in the post a poll of 13 Christmas episodes. Next week or tomorrow's makes 14 Christmas episodes. So the 14 episodes to pull from, they're all very different, and they all have different elements and stuff. So
what is missing, Joe? What is missing, Joe? Which one is the obvious one that's missing, Joe? Can you think of one?
If you go back and look at a certain What a Wookiee Wants, there's an entire Hanukkah concept that hasn't even been tapped in.
I totally agree with that.
I saw somebody say like that, oh, they're holding it for later. Guys, Hanukkah lines up with Christmas Eve this year. So if you have any friends that are Jewish, that's the time to tell them L'chaim and Happy Hanukkah on the first day, not on day 8. You're late on day 8.
Yeah.
Day 1. Christmas Eve. Remember that. That's a good mantra.
On
late on day 8. But they're not doing it late. It's if it's happening, they're gonna be late, and I'm gonna write a post that says you're late. You're late.
for a very important day.
I like it.
So,
but
I mean,
you know, maybe they could. I don't think they care enough that they're doing it, but they could theoretically be working on something to make up for it. Like even the Singing Stones, like, has the Christmas song.
I know,
which are phenomenal. Let me tell you, the Singing Stones are awesome.
I'm working on "Oh Come All Ye Faithful" on the Singing Stones, and I'm gonna send it out when I figure it out.
Well, there's a post coming out Monday, Joe, on the Should I Buy, and I actually figured out. I'm kind of spoiling my own thing. I actually figured out Elvis Presley's "Love Me Tender" playing the Stones.
Yeah. See, there's the musical nerds like us that are just, I'm not even paying attention to the biggest stuff. I'm just writing songs on my Stones.
I know you don't mean that to sound like it sounded. That's okay. That's all right. We've gone from balls to stones. Rock on, Joe.
Tatanka, I'm wearing pants. So
yes, I was getting there.
I'm wearing Star Wars pajama pants. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man.
Yes. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble. I'm wearing pants as well. I can't speak it.
I'm wearing oven mitts, so I'm safe. Everybody's safe.
So basically, we're back to episode 1 where Pat's not admitting that he's wearing pants. So
that's right. That's absolutely true.
But
I'm wearing. Go ahead.
A couple of comments about the event in the snow. Steve O'Max says the snow looks great on everything. He also says the update is a lot easier for me. I enjoy it. There's a lot less stress, which is true. That's a big element. You know, it's a simple update. There's no cap on the hand-ins. You know, I'm already at God Burns, and I'm, you know, a couple days ahead of the calendar. I'm barely playing, honestly. It's a crazy time of the year. So I'm happy that it's an easier event in that regard. And there's very little I want to practice.
There. So. I'm not quite there, but I haven't played as much. I can't. Again, I'm having the issue going to my neighbors' towns where I keep getting booted. And I don't have the time for it. But yeah, I'm going to get the second prize later tonight, I think, or today. So I'm on track with the calendar. So.
And how's Mr. Finals Man doing with the?
I just got the antler tent. I don't know where that falls. I become a tapper just like everybody else when school gets crazy. I literally figured out how to do the Singing Stone thing from Alyssa's post when my creepy gnome didn't work. That same post told me to go to Krusty Land. Like, I get some of my answers sometimes the exact way you do, and I sometimes actually go looking for the answer on the site. So when people tell me how hard it is to find, I can be like, no, it's not. If I can do it, You can do it. And
So, go ahead.
Where you become a bit of an addict, though, is like where I was. I was in the middle of a big meeting on Friday, and I caught myself looking down at my cell phone where I did a screen grab of the calendar, and I realized I'm really not paying attention to this meeting at all because I'm concerned that I'm not keeping up with the calendar. Not a good sign. I should be a little older than that, but it's all right.
See? TSTO Addicts. They're just like you.
That's right.
They're crazy tappers, too.
The mystery.
The mystery is gone. So Sappy says that he agrees with Wookster on several of his points regarding the event. Berger said that she loved the event as well. And Joe, Steve Max also says that my dad had those Star Wars pants. Did you steal them from his house?
I'm sorry, your dad is not wearing pants right now.
And everyone that's asking questions, we're gonna get to them, I promise. I'm going with what we're talking about at the moment. And Mob also said, or what did we decide last week? Mob. I'm just gonna call him Mike.
Mad.
So said Wookiee is writing Stone to songs, and that's how rumors get started. So.
Oh. Yeah, my Stone songs.
So.
Yeah, or songs Stone. Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna work
I
on
want to take
next.
I want to take a minute to talk about the gnome, the creepy gnome. Just quickly.
He is creepy.
He is creepy. So.
I'm finding it right now.
I'm trying to. I've got the one thing on my. I should have had this queued up, ready to go. So. He's a creepy dude. But it is straight out of the episode this week. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to bring this up on my phone. So I mean, I know that a bunch of you have had trouble finding him. Hopefully that the video post that I did, as well as the hey look, you find him here when you need to, when you can't find him, you just go this way and you'll grab him. So hopefully that's helped a bunch of you in that regard.
Thing works. It's really good.
But here guys, let's see, is this gonna work? Nope.
This is decidedly high tech and low tech when we're doing a video thing cross country and we're showing screenshots by holding it up.
Our Christmas will never come.
I don't know if you could hear that or not.
Yeah, we can
I'll
hear
do it
it.
again.
Our Christmas morning will never come.
I mean, that's straight up creepy. And if anybody wants that as their ringtone, please let me know because it's kind of funny. I sent it to a friend that plays this game, and I sent it to her. And I said, here's your new ringtone. It's very creepy. But yeah, so the gnome is straight up for you, and I know it's a play on Elf on a Shelf, but I know there was some conversation in the comments last week, I want to say. Poor Big Phil, creepy gnome. I know, Big Phil, I'm sorry. I know that there were some comments about the actual Elf on a Shelf being creepy. So I've spoken with, for those little children that are watching, you shouldn't be watching, but I've spoken with Santa on the phone today, and Santa gave me permission because the rule with Elf on a Shelf is you're not supposed to touch him. It takes away his magic. But Santa gave me the okay to show everyone that the Elf on a Shelf is not creepy.
Oh no.
Look, he's not creepy. He's a cute little elf. I mean, he's got shifty eyes, but
I don't know. The whole concept of one more way of lying to children, I'm very upset by this concept. So
Hey.
No, I'm sorry. Did you see Kimmel? Jimmy Kimmel had a whole bit where they have a service that will come into your house and move the elf for you, so you don't have to lie to your own children. It's great.
Listen, he's not creepy. He's a nice little doll, and like I said, Santa gave me permission that it was okay if I touch him because Riley is too little to really need the Christmas magic yet, so he really hasn't gotten his magical powers yet. So,
Okay, two things. Alyssa, don't put him on a peg. Like if you have a peg that hangs out like this, my buddy accidentally found the elf like that, and it was disturbing. And number 2, if the elf on the shelf thing is your thing, that's cool. But don't you dare call it the traditional elf on the shelf. I'm pretty sure something has to be going on for longer than 5 years before it becomes traditional. Like,
did I say traditional? I just said the elf on a shelf.
No, but I went to Target and they said the traditional elf on the shelf. And
I thought something was a tradition if you did it more than 3 years, quite honestly. But
I just got kicked out of Target for like ripping the end cap like to pieces because I sort of went a little crazy inside. It was like they brought stones into my Christmas.
I have socks that are older than 3 years, so you know those aren't traditional socks. They're just old.
You have socks that are older than me, probably.
Yeah, probably. I probably do.
Listen, he's watching. So nice.
Because then you have to talk about like Santa. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Like, don't mess with Santa.
All I'm saying is the elf on the shelf is not creepy. I know that there are people who think he's creepy. He's not as creepy as the gnome. First of all, the elf on the shelf doesn't talk. The gnome says really creepy stuff. So,
agree to disagree.
There's a big difference between elves and gnomes, that's for sure.
I mean, Daphne says the elf is creepy, so, but, and Felicia Fancy says, anyone looking for their gnome that escaped, look under Phil's bed.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't think the gnome is creepy. I don't think the elf on the shelf is creepy. That's my own personal thing. I just felt the need to show some of you who insisted that he was creepy, the elf, to prove that he's not creepy. And again, I had special permission from Santa to touch him. So, moving on.
But she stole his hat, so we all know how that deal went down.
This hat is my elf communicator. This is how I talk to Santa.
Oh.
Just like in the movie Santa Claus.
See, I talked to Kurt Sutter through the little ball on the top of my hat.
Listen, I saw a sign in the store the other day that said, when you stop believing in Santa Claus, that's when you get underwear. So I personally would rather not get underwear for Christmas. So this household believes in Santa Claus.
Santa Claus doesn't believe in you either. So.
As they say,
it's taken a very dark turn.
As they say, seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. So
I can see a whole nother series of I agree posts over whether or not we've gone too far with Santa. Yes, you have. I agree.
I'd say this is my Christmas, but it is Christmas. So I hate every other holiday. Give me this.
You can have it.
Humor me. Just humor me. That's all I ask.
Part 2 is pretty good.
The Santa Claus?
What, the Santa Claus 2?
Well, that's what you're saying. But you said part 2 is good. Are you talking about the Santa Claus or something else?
The Simpsons tapped out, like the spoilers.
Oh, sorry. You said part 2. Sorry. And Sandra said it's the concept of being watched that's creepy. Oh, Santa watches you, so whatever. Don't take it. All right, so let's get into, now that I've veered off the nice transition topic, let's get into some what's next, potential spoilers. So this is your spoiler alert for those who don't want to know what's coming, would rather bury their head in the sand. You want to wait and be surprised. So here's your warning. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to walk away. But then, come back because, we like when you guys watch. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So.
Rabbi Krusty! Oh, sorry.
Rabbi Krusty. No. So in the game files, there was some interesting stuff that popped up that I, inadvertently grabbed as images while I was converting all the stuff for the event. One of the things that popped up is the temple. I can't remember which one it is. Hang on. I got it written here. I probably should have taken better notes, guys.
You can hardly bring yourself to do it, can you?
No, I'm traumatized by giving spoilers. So the Temple Beth Springfield was in the files, covered in snow. Actually, all these images that were in the files were covered in snow. So this could mean one of two things. It could mean that this is stuff that's coming later in the event that has not actually shown evidence in the files of being linked as an item or a prize or a premium purchase. If they put the image in, they're going to add the rest later. Or it could mean that when Christmas is over, winter event is going to continue. Or it could mean that they just put the winter versions of the files in because they make 2 versions of every single item they do. They make a winter version and a regular version. So that could be what that means. But the temple was definitely in there. A couple other things that were in there were the Brother Faith bus, the fake toll booth, a couple other random one-off things. But the temple is an interesting. There's a whole other series of stuff that was in there that I'm gonna get to in a second because I know Joe's like, talk about it. But the temple was interesting. That was an interesting find for me. I did not see evidence of Rabbi K, but I did see the temple, and that in itself was pretty interesting to me because there's been no evidence that that we would get anything Jewish in this event. So it's interesting that that's there, and I'll have to tell people when spoilers are over. It's interesting that the stuff's in there because it could mean that Rabbi K is coming. I mean, what do you guys think?
I don't know. They've been weird about this in the past. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that referenced Maggie 2 years before they finally gave us Maggie. So they're kind of random on this stuff. I would rather see some files with Reverend K in them. That'd make me feel better. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to take it as it comes.
Yeah, like, come on, guys. The world's biggest toilet. You could always bring that up.
Yeah.
I miss my toilet. I want my toilet.
Yeah, the giant crapper is in the files, friends. So that's what happened. It's the toilet's fault.
Yeah.
It's the toilet's fault.
Yeah.
Every time crap shows up in your game, it's the toilet's fault. It's in the files, friends.
So, well, that's one big clue as to what could be coming next. The next big clue is actually several clues, including 2 characters that I actually wrote about in the Let Cooler Heads Prevail post to kind of give you guys a little tease so some of you would calm down. I had some spoilers there, and there's actually a lot more to that that I did not reveal in there. So it looks like we're going to be getting a Lemon of Troy event, which would introduce Shelbyville to Springfield in some capacity or another. As I said in that Cooler Heads Prevail post, Jebediah Springfield was in there, as was Shelbyville, Manhattan. Also, Flanders, Winnebago was in there with the lemon tree on top, and a couple of other Shelbyville-related little items. So it does look like they're gearing up. And when I say that these characters were in the files, it wasn't just that one image of the character. Jebediah and Shelbyville, Manhattan both had full task animations in the files. So their animation files are all in there. So what they're going to do, they wouldn't do that much work if they weren't bringing them into the game. If it was just a one-off thing, or they wouldn't upload them into the files if that was the case. So
so there's a question. I do have a question on that, and this is a Joe question. How many, in your mind, how many buildings can you snap out of your mind that are from Shelbyville? Is it going to warrant, do you think, its own territory like they did for Springfield Heights, or is it going to be, do you think, another Krusty Land? Is there that much content to make it fly?
They could create it. My hope is that it's not going to be a separate land. Like, when I think of Shelbyville, I think of the impound lot that has to do with the Lemon of Troy episode, because really that's the The only time that I could, offhand, I think of them actually going to Shelbyville, other than when they go to the theater later on in a more current season. So there's a bunch of theaters. There's the gas station they stop at. They could do a Fudd beer factory. Basically, that Shelbyville is a mirror of Springfield. It's just a little different, and they hump their cousins. So yeah, like that's why they're the Shelby villains, and because that's hilarious.
I think my gut feeling is that there may be, in fact, because there's so much land available above Springfield Heights that they've held out. It may be that's where it ends up. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Totally a guess.
I also think there could be, they could do something clever with a storyline between Jebediah and Shelbyville, Manhattan, where they finally, after years, instead of being divisive, are gonna get rid of their differences and work together to build one town.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah,
that could be a message about how you should feel about the first part of the Christmas.
Well, this could be the political teaser that we got after Halloween. It could be a minor, little political teaser that we got. That could lead into that kind of divisiveness. There's a possibility there.
If I was ready for the show, and EA, feel free to hire me. I probably could make your stuff better. But
make TSTO great again. Sorry. I couldn't resist.
Put all the Shelbyville items in Krusty Land. Make that the only place you can put them, as a joke that nobody gives a rip about Shelbyville.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a wall to keep all the trolls out of TSTO. And yeah.
So it is interesting. I mean, the impound lot isn't there. And all these items are covered in snow. Every item that is in the files right now is covered in snow. There is no non-snow covered version currently in the files. So it could just be that they uploaded them with the winter content because it's coming next, and they just wanted to make sure they had it in there already since they designed it, and the snow will disappear. Or it could mean that snow will stick around for a few more weeks after this event is over, so that we have, a couple weeks in January with snow in Springfield, without the holiday decor on the items. But that would also mean that they'd have to make a third version of the trees, the benches, the bushes, because a lot of trees have lights, a lot of trees have ribbons, the free stuff. A lot of benches have coverings on them. So that really wouldn't be seasonally appropriate in January. So I don't know that they would create a third version of each of those, or just leave them in and say who the hell cares about seasonal appropriateness.
Credit. They're going to use the same exact bushes and everything.
So I'm saying, who the hell cares?
Yeah. No, that's the easy, smartest way to do it, is just let all that stuff move across the border.
Yes.
Yeah. I never take down my Christmas lights. That's why me and Alyssa first became friends or acquaintances. So,
Christmas lights and scary clown under the bed.
Yeah, we weren't sleeping a lot back then. I don't know.
So, all right.
Yeah.
That was the last spoiler stuff I had. So if we want to conclude the spoiler section, a couple people were asking stuff about what's coming next in this event. Things are going to take an interesting twist in Act 2. They are going to introduce some. There is a devil snowman, which I already know just the name itself is going to make people go nuts. There's some interesting dialogue. It's a couple twists. It will be very much like the end of the Act 1 little pop-up that came up after everybody sang that said, who will prevail? Will Christian conservatism reign, or will pagans take over? That there will be a battle. It's going to get dicey. So I am preparing to use the delete button on the comments. So just be careful what you say, please.
Yeah. Can I go one step further than that?
Yes.
My hope is that because we've already divided this territory up, everybody got their chance to pretty much lay out who they were, where they stand on the issue. Let's just not do it. Let's just acknowledge that it's going to get worse in the dialogue. It's going to get a little bit more divisive. let's just leave it alone. Please don't turn every post into a thread about your feeling about that topic. We already know. Okay, is that a fair thing to say?
That's a very fair thing to say.
Okay.
I agree. I agree. So, and somebody else was asking about the gift card thing that they're seeing some of the spoiler sites. We don't quite know how that's going to work yet, so I can't really divulge. And this is a big reason why I don't like giving spoilers out for a lot of stuff, because I don't know how it's going to work until I play it in the game. So it looks like you're going to earn gift cards from what I can see. You're going to earn gift vouchers from, I think, from tapping the gnome, and then you can use those gift vouchers to purchase holiday related stuff. The problem is the holiday related stuff, and it is Christmas holiday related stuff. Problem is that stuff that's coming back is a lot of stuff everybody already has. So there's like 3 new items, and that's it. So I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work. We're going to have to wait and see on that. But there is some indication of that in the files. And somebody else asked if there was going to be new premium characters. There are 1 new trio of premium characters coming for Act 2. And we'll get into that when it actually hits. There's only 1 new premium character. Everything else would be returning. So with that said, I am going to conclude the spoiler section unless anybody else has anything to add spoiler-wise. We're good? All right, so I'm going to conclude the spoiler section. So at this point, I'm going to tell those who were concerned about spoilers that spoilers are over. So, all right, so let's get into the next topic of holiday episodes. I came across in my my quest to find stuff to write about before the Christmas event hit, because we didn't know when the Christmas event or the winter event was going to hit. I was doing some online research, doing some checks to see what I could write posts about, and I came across an article that did the 13 best Christmas or the 13 Christmas episodes ranked in order from worst to best. There are only 13 episodes. Like I said, Sunday's episode will be number 14. So I was going to write a whole post on it, and I still may do it where you guys can rank them yourselves. But I kind of wanted to talk about the best Christmas episodes. So, let's get into it here with us. I'm going to look at the poll responses now. Let's see. So the poll shows that I can't read it now. The poll shows that 34% of you, almost 35% of you, said that Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, which is the very first episode of the show, was the best, which I'm not surprised about at all. The second one was Marge Be Not Proud, which it was almost 14%. Miracle on Evergreen Terrace was third at 12.5%. And Skinner's Sense of Snow was fourth at just about 12%. And the Holidays of Future Past was at 10%. And then it goes, down from there. So, and Poor Little White Christmas Blues, which is the actually I enjoyed that episode, but that got no love. No one voted for that one. So
not a single vote.
Not a single vote for
Wow.
White Christmas Blues. That was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Yeah. So, all right. So the top or the 13 Christmas episodes are Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire. Here, let me do it this way. Sorry, guys. Just want to read them in season order. So going from order of season, Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, which was season 1. Marge Be Not Proud, which was season 7. Miracle on Evergreen Terrace, season 9. The Grift of the Magi, season 11. Skinner's Sense of Snow, season 12. She of Little Faith, season 13. 'Tis the 15th Season, season 15. Simpsons Christmas Story, season 17. Kill Gill, volumes 1 and 2. Simpsons, season 18. The Fight Before Christmas, season 22. Holidays of Future Past, season 23. White Christmas Blues, season 25. And I Won't Be Home for Christmas, which is season 26. And then this year's episode is The Nightmare After Christmas, which is not in that list because it obviously hasn't aired yet. So what do you guys think? What is your what's your favorite besides the obvious Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So obvious, like Simpsons Roast on an Open Fire is amazing. Like that's the best. It is. But the Holidays of Future Past of all the others, like I love the Christmas episodes tend to be really good, except for my least favorite, White Christmas Blues. I agree with you guys. But yeah, like well, and White Christmas Blues is okay. You got the funniness of the second verse of every Christmas song is where it starts to get creepy, and and you got the Christmas clams and Springfield just like taking the money.
Well, did you hate White Christmas Blues more than I Won't Be Home for Christmas? Because you usually hate those kind of episodes.
I actually liked I Won't Be Home for Christmas because it had some real heart in the relationship between Marge and Homer.
Okay.
So, but they both like of the Christmas episodes are down towards the bottom. But and then they did the whole Benny Hill like the gingerbread house falling perfectly over Homer, which is a great film montage, and or that was Buster Keaton, sorry, but Holidays of Future Past. Long story short, that's the future Christmas episode has all the heart, and you get to see Bart and Lisa's dynamic figuring out how to be parents, and there's a great little interchange between Homer and Grandpa, and then there's jokes too. It's really funny. But Griff to the Mad Guy and Marge Be Not Proud, and yeah, their Christmas episodes are great. Just watch them.
I mean, I will tell you that this website, which was whatculture.com, ranked White Christmas Blues is number 10, and I Won't Be Home for Christmas is number 5. So just to put that in, to give you some context there. So what are your thoughts, Pat?
I'll make it simple. Clearly, the very first one is the best. It's like watching the Lucy rerun with colorization. You go back and you go, oh, that's right. I remember that when I was a kid. I tend to just to go with any of the, and I know this is kind of trite, I tend to go with any of those that are in the first 10 to 13 seasons for the reason that Joe was just saying. They have a lot more heart. They weren't stretching. I found it odd that there was that few Christmas episodes in this many seasons. So I think that kind of speaks to how The Simpsons itself lost its direction because, I don't know, Christmas is always the one you want to go, oh, you want to feel good. So I liked a bunch of them, but yeah, the first one was the easy one for me.
So, I mean, I'm a fan of, obviously, I think everyone likes the first episode of the show because it's, you always like the first episode of a show, especially going back and seeing it when there's so many episodes. But, and I like Holidays of Future Past, as you guys all know. I love anything about the future Simpsons. They always crack me up, so that's always a good one. But I have to say that I enjoy Kill Gil. The grumple makes me giggle. Grumpily, grumpily. So.
He's huge in Arizona.
Yes. So, Kill Gil is just, I actually rewatched it last night in anticipation of this, and it cracks me up every time I watch it. It's a funny episode. I mean, it shows Marge how, I have a ton of Marge in me as well, as far as the sense of, I have a hard time saying no to people. I have a hard time, if I feel somebody's in need, I have a hard time telling them to go away. So I can relate in that regard. I also like seeing Gil have a little bit more focus in an episode, which was fun. And how big he is in Scottsdale. I felt great for Gil. I was like, oh, right. And then The Simpsons ruined it for him. Poor Gil.
He's Gil. It has to happen. These are
tropes. But it's,
yeah,
the character you feel like you need to defend. And so, I mean, that's my my thought process there. I mean, what do you guys in the comments below think? Some of you said that you voted for Holidays of Future Past as well. I mean, but beyond the first episode of the show, I mean, what's your favorite? Why? I mean, that's kind of gets to the heart of the season and why I like this season so much. But yeah, and as you all know, there's 13 now 14 episodes. They have a lot of content to choose from, so I don't think that this game is ending anytime soon. I don't think that they're running out of ideas for this game. I do think that that Tapped Out will continue at the very least until the show ends.
Yeah, as long as there's money to be made and there's a tie-in and a cross-reference and a contract that's established, no, it'll be around.
So you've probably got at least 2 more years of us here. So, all right, so let's get into some of your questions. All right, so Ebron says that she's dreaming of a Krusty Land New Year's Eve. Probably not going to happen, but a girl can dream. All that land and nothing to put there. Do you foresee any new Krusty Land activities? What do you guys think?
I hope.
I hope, but I don't see it. They seem to make fun of it every time they send you there. It's almost like, remember? There's nothing there.
In my What a Wookie one, I mentioned Krusty Land, and when I went back, I can't believe how many posts I've written about stuff I want in Krusty Land and ideas I have, and it's almost embarrassing because it's like when you were young and you asked your mom for X so many times and you knew you were never gonna get it, and they're just like, "Oh, okay, you want that? Yeah, we're poor." So, but EA's not poor, so give me my dadgum Krusty Land.
You heard him. You heard him.
But I want Halloween in Krusty Land next year. That would be the best thing ever.
That would be interesting. I wouldn't be too upset with a Halloween Krusty Land event. I mean, it would get people to go, and it would spark what pretty much all theme parks do in the fall, and do some kind of Fright Fest type thing.
Oh, it's canon from that great episode.
It's true. That's also true. That you say great episode, I go so.
Halloween Horror was amazing.
It had good moments. I don't like Halloween. So
yeah.
It had its moments. So yeah, I mean, I hope they bring Krusty Land stuff. I don't see them doing anything in Krusty Land for this year. I don't see anything happening New Year's in Krusty Land. There will be some New Year's stuff that ties in with things. I'm not going to do it to tell you what it is because we concluded the spoiler section. But there will be some fun stuff for New Year's. But I don't foresee anything for Krusty Land in that aspect. So I
think they moved that programming department to Mexico. They haven't shown up yet on the radar.
Yeah. So that one weird tapper asks about the mystery presents. Would it be Act 2? And also, do you know the ski lift will make a return? I would tell you to go back and look in the spoiler section, which we just finished because we kind of talked about that a little bit. So Nellie Puck says, what are your favorite Christmas songs? Go ahead, Pat. I'll let you do this one first.
Bearing in mind that for literally 4 years straight, all I did was Christmas 365 because of all the production I was doing at the time. So it ruined a lot of Christmas for me. I tend to go with the traditional, real deal, church-related stuff I remember singing, as an acolyte and a choir boy. So I love Joy to the World. I like the ones that really, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. I like the ones that really let it get out there and do it. I also like Oh Holy Night because if you could actually time it and hit that high last note, it feels so good. But yeah, that's it. I'm not super big on the pop versions of stuff. I'm not a big fan of the Christmas radio channel, to give you an idea, even though I work in the industry. So there you go. Very traditional.
How about you, Joe?
The first song that comes to my mind is "O Come All Ye Faithful" whenever I think of Christmas. I'm sorry, hope that doesn't piss off some of you pagans, but but no, like on every Christmas, I grew up in Southern California, a punk rock kid. I look forward to listening to Christmas with the Vandals every Christmas, and those songs are not traditional, but they're hilarious. And then I always think of Bart Simpson singing Jingle Bells. whenever it's Christmas. And as long as Christmas radio begins at an appropriate time, which to me is after December 10th, I'm okay listening to Christmas music. It's a family tradition for my family that December 10th, today, is when Christmas cannot happen. And then on the 11th, after my grandfather's birthday, we could do it. Unfortunately, not everybody feels the same as me.
No, we were actually flipping radio stations on our clients as early as November 15th this year, which was really weird to me. So
listen, Sirius XM put on the XM Holly, and I started listening to it. It was like before Thanksgiving. It's probably the week before Thanksgiving. No, it was beginning of November. It was like right after the election. And I was like, all right, works for me.
XM's different because you get to pick. Like a lot of places only have like 4 radio stations, and that just sucks for them if they don't like Christmas music.
Yep.
Yes. But I'm the exact opposite of these two in the sense that if I wasn't married to the man that I'm married to, whose birthday is in November, and it's just that we must celebrate his birthday and respect November, and then the day after Thanksgiving, we can celebrate Christmas. My Christmas tree would probably be up beginning of November. So I've been listening to Christmas music for a while. Full blast or full speed. It's all I listen to in the car now since the day after Thanksgiving. But I like shocking. I like all Christmas songs. But Holy Night is a favorite of mine. But I also really like Dominic the Donkey. You're welcome. Because how could you not like the Italian Christmas donkey? I mean, when Santa visits his paisans, as Dominic shall see. I mean, come on. So Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer is also a favorite. But I like them all. The cheesier the better. The crazier the better. They all make me laugh. I appreciate every single Christmas song there is. My husband's favorite is
Christmas with the Vandals.
My husband's is Snoopy Christmas, the one with the where Snoopy's flying and the Red Baron and all that stuff. That's his favorite.
Yeah,
so.
I'll do a teaser. This year, because I don't care anymore, I'm going to go ahead and share. There was all kinds of copyright stuff going on. I'm going to share links to the stuff we did for the Claymation Christmas celebration, and so people will have a chance to download that if they want to grab it. There's 2 or 3 on there that I really like what we did. We definitely took traditional and took it way sideways, but I think that's kind of the thing, is there's so many versions of the same song that it does become challenging to hear what people are doing with it. It's like the country western, what was that, the CW Christmas or whatever. It's like, okay, all right, this is cool. This is like 1972 again. It was interesting.
Well, I'll tell you too that growing up in the house that I grew up in, my mom is like me with Christmas. So she always had like the quintessential Christmas music of like the classics. So we always listened to a Beach Boy Christmas. So to me, it's not Christmas unless I hear Little Saint Nick.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some.
That's okay though, because that's an original that had its own deal going on. I mean, that goes clear back to the '60s when they had like a Harry Belafonte Christmas, Mahalia Jackson Christmas. I mean, I go back to the era when they used to give away Christmas albums at the gas station, as a premium if you filled your tank, and they were great. They had like all the artists of the time, Bing Crosby, all that stuff. But yeah, it's different now. I don't want to hear one more Merry Christmas Baby version. I'm done with that song. Ugh.
There are songs that I will say that certain versions of them I do switch the channel on.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm gonna say that Mary Did You Know is one of the most depressing quote unquote Christmas songs ever, and I will not listen to it. That's the one song that will get turned because it will make me cry.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, I gotcha. That and the Christmas Shoes. Have you ever listened to the Christmas Shoes? Because that makes me cry every time I listen to that. So look, I can cry. I am capable. No one on this site makes me cry, but music. So Mab.
You're gonna get a bunch of links to Christmas Shoes now.
No. Ball my eyes out. All right, so Mab says, being in summer mode in the Southern Hemisphere, I would like to know if any of you will have a white Christmas, or does it snow later in December or January? And do you get to spend it with your families, or are they spread out across the country? And he would also like to know what is on the dinner menu. So we'll start with, we could probably do all three of them, or all four questions in the, three questions in the answer. So it's, will you have a white Christmas, or does it snow later, if at all? You get to spend it with your families, or are they spread out? And what's on the Christmas dinner menu? So I'll go first, I guess. I live in New Jersey, so it does snow here. Sometimes we have a white Christmas, sometimes we don't have a white Christmas. Just depends. Right now, I don't think we're gonna have one, but it happens. Last year, it was like 70 degrees on Christmas, which I appreciated. No one else did, but so white Christmas is always up in the air. It's possible here. But it definitely snows later in the year. As far as family, yes, we all get together, both sides of family. So Christmas Eve, I'll spend with my in-laws. Christmas Day, I'll spend with my parents and my siblings. Then the day after Christmas, we'll spend with some extended family as well. So we have Christmas lasts a long time in this house. And as far as dinner is concerned, Christmas Eve is usually just appetizers all day. We just kind of eat all day. Christmas Day is, we stay in our pajamas all day. So it's just kind of like picking on foods. My mom, I think, is going to make a ham and a couple other things. We'll just pick on that. And then the next day when we do the extended family Christmas, we have more, we'll have turkey, we'll have ham, we'll have pastas. I mean, we're Italian, so we'll have a lot of pasta, a lot of chicken Marcel, that kind of stuff. So that's what's on the menu in this neck of the woods. How about you, Pat?
Well, because I'm old and I have 5 daughters and they're spread all over the country, and I have lots of grandkids, we tend to do a gathering a week before Christmas where we all exchange gifts and then go back to our respective homes. Katie won't be out from New York this year. That's too far, and they're very busy this time of year in New York. But Allie will come up with Ryan, and we'll get together that day. But then Christmas Day, generally, for us has morphed into kind of a thing that's been traditional forever, where we get up early, open the presents. We have a meal, usually mid-afternoon, of prime rib. That's become the go-to. We usually go to a movie, believe it or not. We'll pick a movie and go to a movie Christmas Day evening. And then that's after Christmas Eve, where we watch It's a Wonderful Life and the George C. Scott version of Christmas Carol before Santa comes. And so that's kind of where it is. We have family all over the place, so for the next 2.5 weeks, we will see them all, but not on the day. So.
And the snow question.
Oh, snow! It's in Oregon. I cannot remember the last even modicum of a white Christmas. It's almost always rainy on Christmas. Sometimes it's warm. Maybe one time in the 90s we had a white Christmas, and it was only for a day. We usually get Christmas in February or March, which is weird. I mean, not Christmas, snow, but usually only for a couple days. We've been getting freezing rain. Freezing rain. There's no great holiday song for freezing rain. So maybe I'll write one.
Freezing rain.
Yeah. Freezing rain. There you go.
I'm dreaming of a freezing rain Christmas.
Yeah, there you go.
So what do you think, Joe?
I live in Southern California, and snow, if it snowed here, people might start believing in global warming. And don't ask me how that works, please. Let's see.
Please don't send letters to me.
We're not doing an I agree on global warming, so we're done.
Yeah, I work for the mouse, so odds are on Christmas Eve and Christmas, while you enjoy your holidays, I will be with the mouse. My hope is that I'll be working on the Jingle Cruise, because the entire Jungle Cruise gets festive now with decorations, and it's actually beautiful. There is a small child that once called me Jungle Santa, and that's what people call me this time of year. And dinner. We do weird things like make burritos on holidays because I listen to a punk rock Christmas album. Like, just leave me alone. But I did hang Christmas lights yesterday for family, and yeah, I had a white Christmas when I was 8 in Long Island because it snows there.
I'll send you some snow.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was snow on the ground when I visited Liss like a year and a half ago or something.
Yeah, when I told you it was actually warm and you were complaining that it was freezing. Yeah.
It was so cold. I lived in New Jersey and North Carolina, so last time we had the big snowstorm after Christmas, like on the 26th, it started snowing. And like it jacked the entire coast all the way down to like North Carolina. So that's real snow, but
so
freezing rain. Freezing rain. We got to write the tune for that on our Singing Stones, Pat, and then we can.
I've got it. Yeah, it's already, I'm already writing the chorus now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chikanko is saying, if not for Krusty Land, where we reset whatever bug is happening in Springfield, because we were talking about Krusty Land earlier. Yes, Krusty Land serves a magical purpose in that you can go to Krusty Land and back to your Springfield, and it seems to cure whatever ails your Springfield. So
yeah.
So all right, so Safi wants to know, what is our favorite Christmas movie? His choice is Home Alone, followed by Love Actually, which I'm going to contest. Sorry, Safi, but Love Actually is not a Christmas movie. Just because it takes place Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie. It's not a Christmas movie. So my favorite Christmas movie is also probably one of my favorite movies, which is It's a Wonderful Life. Best movie ever. Jimmy Stewart is a phenomenal actor. And then that's followed probably by Miracle on 34th Street and White Christmas and all kinds of other traditional Christmas movies. So we'll go with Joe on this one.
So first off, Brooders, I wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope it's wonderful. Thank you. And Liz won't like my Christmas movies. It's Christmas time, so it's time to watch Die Hard and Gremlins. Die Hard and Gremlins. Those are my Christmas movies. And now a new third one in my trilogy is Krampus. So
Krampus.
So those my Christmas trilogy. You watch Gremlins, then you watch Die Hard, and then you watch Krampus.
All right. So Pat,
I already kind of gave you mine. We've added. I mean, we have so many Christmas movies that when the kids were actually living here, it would take us a 2-day watch-a-thon to go through all the traditionals. So we love, Christmas Story. We love all of those, Home Alone, all those. One that's kind of come back, again, this is the daughter chick flick thing. One that's kind of come back that I admit to liking is Family Man with Nicolas Cage. And it's very much like the other two, because Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life are both about redemption, right? It's about seeing a new chance to start your life, make a change, how important your life is, how little things in your life matter. I think those are great stories. That's basically what it's all about. It's redemption. So Family Man is surprisingly good on that very level. It's Tay Leone and Nicolas Cage, and I think it's one of the best roles for both of them. I don't like a lot of Nicolas Cage stuff
because of those nomadic eyebrows.
Yeah. But no, but that one ends up being in the mix somewhere when the kids come home. So
all right. So we'll take one more question, which is actually just for Joe, where Jack Anonymous says, hey, Wookie, when you said your hat is how you talk to Kurt Sutter, were you talking about Kurt Sutter, the screenwriter, or did you mean to say Daryl Sutter? Daryl Sutter is the LA Kings coach.
I meant to say Daryl Sutter. So, but if I
my apologies, I didn't read the whole question. Sorry.
If I could talk to Kurt Sutter, I would probably tell him to bring back that bastard Executioner show, because I actually liked it. And medieval Wales is interesting. So
yeah. So, and the final comment from Steve O'Max is genius idea. Wookie, you need to have another guest podcast with the Addicts. So I don't know if he means you need to add the addicts to your podcast or you need to just continue to come on here.
That's probably
So on that note, I think
it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. So on that note, I think it's we've officially gone to our longest Addicts Live. I think it's 1:30. Yeah. So yeah, we've gone a long time. So
well,
we'll
the word extravaganza comes right to mind.
Well, it was our holiday.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
So.
And then, as we had
with a little ball on the top.
There we go. Plus, we had a full 20 minutes of disclaimers, so that has to be taken out of the time as well. So
that is true. Yeah. That is true. So we will sign off. Anyone have any final parting words? This is the last time we'll see our lovely readers prior to Christmas.
Merry everything to anybody that wants to claim a Merry. I don't care what side of the I agree you fall on, what you believe or don't agree. This is a good time to be, let's just say, nice to one another and leave it at that.
If the four of us on the site can get along, literally thinking of the differences of where we live, how we grew up, the things we believe in, and we can all be friends and moderate a site full of knuckleheads. Everybody could get along. Trust me. There are dynamic reasons that all of us could not like each other that we choose not to make matter in our lives. Happy Life Day. Watch the Simpsons watch the Simpsons. Watch the Star Wars Christmas special if you really want to see something that could have been better. And like Merry Christmas, Happy Life Day.
You froze.
I just stopped moving. So.
That was cosmic. It
was like a perfect mannequin challenge. I was like, what is going on? Did he freeze? Is he throwing it to me? What's going on?
Yeah, we'll all do a mannequin ending.
Joe's much better than everyone else because I know. So I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Pagan Winterfest, Happy New Year. We will see you all in January. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with us. And obviously, we'll continue to write posts and stuff. But we'll see you on the next Addicts Live next month, which is January, our first episode of 2017. And we're gonna have Homer take us out because who doesn't love a dancing and singing Homer?
I hope you bought a lot of quality Simpsons products this Christmas.
Perfect.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a really happy Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
A long song.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. How about some Mickey Moody? Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Good luck with that Christmas stuff and a Merry Christmas.
All right.
Oh!
Froze.
Oh, humbug.
All right. On that note, we'll see everyone next month. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays. Bye-bye, guys.